Hello, welcome to the Forge, here to the colony, and this is the topic of this video. It's the cardboard MI5S Energy Blaster. It is the newest and most advanced I've ever made. It's the first I've made that is ambidextrous, and it has other firsts when it comes to how things function. However, I'm not going to just focus on this for this video, because I'm going to answer a question: how did I get here? And that question's answer lies in the past. So, let's go to that past first. This is the first energy blaster I've ever made out of cardboard. It's also the first multi-color craft I've ever created. And for the age of cardboard, duct tape, and no use of hot glue whatsoever, I have to say this turned out pretty well. Now, I did go back and add a little bit of hot glue to a limited amount of it in order to preserve it and improve it, but all in all, this is still 95% what it was a year and a half ago. So let me show you some features real quick. Here's the energy cartridge. I pull this out, hold it with my finger, and this is the cartridge. It's 1 inch by 1 inch by 2 inches, and it's a rectangular prism. I can just put back here, and then I let it slide forward. Look at that trigger. It's so crude, but it is pointy here, and it still does return forward. It just goes forward so much it looks kind of, like I made it a year and a half ago. There's a knuckle-activated flashlight, and it can be deactivated by knuckle also. This here is the L rig. It has a sight I can use. Crosshairs in the back, red dot in the front. Simple system, happens to work, can line it up. And the L rig can be removed. That's right, modular. Now this is lighter, but the aim is not that good because it's just a flat top. I suppose you can say that's better than nothing. And you might have thought this, looking at the hand blaster. With the L rig on, it actually kind of looks like the plasma cutter from the Dead Space game. And I intended on that because I was inspired, kind of like I was for the MI5S coming up towards the end. It is also based on a sci-fi energy weapon. Anyways, I guess that covers it for this hand blaster, and I'll move on to one I made after this and before the MI5S. Now this is my cardboard laser sniper, also known as the RF1, and it was multiple steps forward in the evolution of my cardboard blaster crafts. This is the bipod. Now, I can unrestrain it, and with it not restrained, it can be moved up, so that the barrel can be leaned down. But it can also be restrained, and when the bipod is restrained, like this, it can rest atop a surface, perhaps a windowsill. There's a horizontal foregrip with a bunch of octagons cut out of it to increase the grip, instead of having it be slippy. And there's the energy cell. It's ejectable, but not being ejected right now. With the switch back, it is restrained in place. How do I make it let go? Flip it forward, and it just fell out. I can also put it back in and re-restrain it. Here's the scope that can be removed with what is called L-Tech. This is a more primitive version. I've condensed it, kind of like making a big floppy disk into a USB drive. In a similar sense, I've got the same functionality smaller for later crafts, but this was a more primitive, large version. The scope cap comes off, and struggles to stick to this side holder, but once I get it, I can now aim crosshairs in the back to the red dot in the front. Now, I put the scope cap back on. Trigger's better, you agree, than the hand blasters. And this is the stock. Extended position, collapsed position. And this was the top of my cardboard crafting technology until I made later better ones. The MI4 will be up next. One I completed after this one, but before the MI5S. And guess what? At the time of me producing this video, the Laser Sniper is my top performer in my full videos. The MI4 is second, and climbing. Next up, I bring you the MI4 Energy Blaster. It's made to be a lot like an assault rifle. You see that? And it's got some significant developments that were not on that Laser Sniper. And I thought that was cool at the time, but you can see why I think this is so much cooler. You know that game Halo? With the plasma rifle, and how it vents out its excess heat? That's my inspiration for coming up with this switch cooling system. There's an angled foregrip that has these sharp right angles that I find kind of uncomfortable, but at least the angle's comfortable. And here's the carry handle, making it so that arming myself with this MI4 Energy Blaster is actually a little bit faster than if I had the over carry handle M16 style. You know, that rifle that was used in the Vietnam War. Yeah, this is actually a little better. And in place of the non-existent 30 round 5.56 magazine. Huh. So what do I have instead? This twist disc. Take it out, it's kind of like a key in a keyhole, and then put it back in. I think it goes like this. Exactly. Fire mode select. Fire! Safe. Yeah. And this is the sight. Remember that sniper? Well, this is what I mean when I said I was condensing my L-Tech into Microtech, if you think of that as a good comparison. See how much shorter this is? And how much shorter this is? This is the most compact I've managed to make it. It snugly fits in there, and like before, I can aim. And the stock's adjustable. Check it out. Collapsed. My arms feel scrunchied. And extend. Now, my arms are resting more comfortably. My arms can operate this more comfortably with the stock extended. Had to close it up a little bit more. So yes, this blaster is an improvement upon that Laser Sniper, and I needed this. But you gotta take a look at that upcoming MI5S, because I wanted to solve some, not necessarily problems, but places that were kind of lacking with the MI4. They just weren't that good. And there were other things I wanted to add on, and that's what I mean when I upgrade. Add new things on, and make things that are working even better. And it's smaller. So, what happens when a blaster's smaller? It's more lightweight. It's more agile. Downsides? Yeah, I guess you could say there are some. One is that it can be shook around more easily, and a bigger, heavier one would be more stable. But at least in close quarters, this is one short barrel. Now what's new about this? Multiple things. I made the cooling system smaller. It doesn't open up as much, but hey, all the hot air is going forward instead of as much outward, and that can be protection for your hand when you operate this. And at the same time, this is an ambidextrous blaster, meaning I can cool it from the other side too. What else? The angled grip. It is different. I based it on a tennis racket. It's an octagon instead of all these right angles. These angles are actually 135 degrees, making it feel more comfortable, so much more comfortable. And there's generous room between my fingers and this part of the blaster. I had to cut out more letters and numbers for this one, MI5SA1, because one might think I'm going to make an A2. United Human Marine Corps. And what's this underneath? It must be the energy cartridge. Better than the one for the hand blaster, right? How far I've come. And then, I put it back in. Now let me tell you about this first, actually, because this is the output for high intensity weapons. I have not made any yet, but maybe that sniper I was thinking of making earlier, well, it could use some of this high intensity energy. But this blaster takes in medium intensity output, and each of these cartridges can do both. So I'll put this in for its medium energy output, not the high energy output, and take aim. And when I'm taking aim, I could use two options. One is the short range sight, and another is the medium range sight. I just flip it on like that, and that's all I have to do to add a third dot, a third layer of plastic, and make it not a 1-inch sight, but instead a 4-inch scope. And I'm so proud of this because this is a first. And this is the fire mode select. Flick it down, that's fire. You can see the red. Flick it up, and that's safe. Now how ambidextrous is this? Well, it's my first technically ambidextrous craft. It's just a little more inconvenient if you're using it left-handed because you have to reach all the way over for the scope. But you can just push it back down. And when it comes to the fire mode select, your thumb has to cross over if you're left-handed. But it's still an improvement upon my prior crafts that were not ambidextrous and were focused on the right-handed. This one is better if you're right-handed, but it can be left-handed. The MI5SA1 also has two other notable features. One is that this craft is definitely higher quality per square inch or centimeter, Europe, Asia, wherever else. And that's one of my main objectives in continuing to increase the quality of my cardboard crafting. The second is an example of this improvement. It's in the handle. Specifically the handle grip. For the MI4, all of these came out the same height because they were the same thickness of cardboard. But my middle finger here rests better atop this thicker piece of cardboard, while these are thinner so that I can still feel them as the grip pieces, distinguished from this base gray. But here, it's even higher. So it's like plains, hills, big mountain on a globe. And it's my goal to keep improving. And like it is with the MI4 Energy Blaster, yeah, this is a carry handle. And it feels even lighter than the MI4, which means this is so much more mobile. What the heck am I doing? I thank you for watching, and I appreciate all your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe, because I'm going to work on growing in cardboard crafting even more than I already have. I have plans to make even better blasters later, including, yes, an upgraded version of that first hand blaster I showed you. I want to show you what perhaps 20 months to 2 years does between there and where I'm going. I'm also going to move out of this cardboard forge area into a new one, because I'm going to make a new one. There are so many projects ahead, and I'd like you to see that development. Part of me, and I'm going to come clean, part of me thinks, can I just get more subscribers already? I think that this is what multiple developing content creators go through. They get impatient, and I've felt that impatience myself. I want more. But at the same time, I feel this too. My channel where it's at now, do I deserve this much? Some people come, they like this, and it's not even that good. It's because I'm still developing. But, you know what, if it's this game where if you do a little better than you did last time, you're gonna get a little bit more. I kind of like that it is a progression system. It's kind of like you level up in a video game one level at a time as you keep playing. And if you're living your life, if you just got promoted or something, if you just got a first job, you might be leveling up in your own way. Or you just drew some cartoon character for the first time, or you just stepped it up from drawing stick figures to getting your first anime book, trying to draw with higher quality. Well, do the growth that suits who you are. I know I will, and I'll show you. Thanks again for watching.